keep telling y'all that this ain't just with the mess. Now, go ahead, Lauren. What we got going on with Diddy?
Okay, so
talking to the microphone.
I'm here. I just moved up. Okay, so we've been talking, and remember I told you guys that I broke the story about attorney Anthony Busby, who is the attorney that filed all those civil lawsuits against Puff. So the last time we talked about this, we talked about a letter that came from a grievances committee, kind of ethics committee, that said that he was denied the ability to practice within the Southern District of New York. That confused a lot of people because he then posted saying that he is able to practice within New York State. New York State Court and New York and the Southern District of New York are two different jurisdictions. Federal and state are different. Now, Diddy's team, I got an alert this morning at around a little after midnight. They submitted a letter to the court. It's called a memorandum of law. And they're opposing Busby's submission to operate as pro hac vice. So I was saying pro hac vice earlier, but shout out to my new lawyer community that I have. It's pro hac vice, which is where I told you guys, like, he'll come in with a local attorney because he's not able to work in that jurisdiction, but the local attorney can.
Right.
So he had to go back and ask for permission to do that on all Puff's civil cases in the Southern District of New York after this denial happened, right? So Puff's team, they're allowed to write and say, hey, this is how we feel about it, because this is the person in question that is being in conversation, as in Diddy. And they're saying no. They're saying we oppose his request to operate as pro hac vice or operate with a local attorney. We don't do this lightly either. They say, look, we never do this. We never do not allow an attorney the right to litigate. Like, by law, we think all attorneys should, but this is wrong. This is wrong because there's been misconduct. He's gone against his attorney privilege as far as, like, there's rules that you're supposed to follow, and he didn't do it.
Yeah, I feel like he should have just did that from the beginning.
I don't.
Like, you got to measure twice to cut once. I feel like he didn't do that.
I am so waiting to see what Attorney Busby is going to specifically say in response to this, outside of just, I can operate in New York State. Because when I say that this doesn't make any sense of how this was a misstep,
you know why? Because I think a lot of those lawyers aren't looking at the legality of the situation. Those lawyers are just looking for the smear campaign. So those lawyers are telling these people, hey, if you don't do X, Y, and Z, meaning pay us, then we're going to go to the press, we're going to file a lawsuit. And so they just do it in hopes that eventually these guys will just settle, and then he'll just drop it, and nobody will ever, it'll never get to this point.
He was looking for the settlement. He didn't necessarily want to go to trial.
This is insane.
So he can pretty much escape. Well, he may be able to escape.
Yeah, I mean, as an attorney, your job is to find a loophole, and I honestly think that Puff's team has found it. Whatever Attorney Busby is going to throw back as, like, hey, no, that's not true, or hey, I did this, or whatever, would be the saving grace. But the fact that he's actually filing for this pro hac vice, which is like, yo, can I work with a local attorney? It shows you that, like, he knows that he might be in trouble on these civil suits. And they specifically point out he's been active in across 22 filings without permission to practice in the Southern District of New York. And in that letter from the grievances committee, you guys remember when I mentioned it, they said, you've already been acting as if you have admission or permission to operate within this jurisdiction. This only came to our attention January 29th because of the amended filing that had Jay-Z's name attached to it, because that team has said, yo, he's not doing this right. Like, admissions haven't been submitted.
All these people care about is money and the pressure they can put on a person to make that person break to pay the goddamn money.
That's it.
That's all it is.
Because they'll put you through hell. They'll send all types of letters to you to get you to do all types of things. But let me ask you a question. Can those people that were using Busby go to another attorney that's in this jurisdiction and do the same thing?
So I thought about that as well too, and I think at this point, even if they try to move it, other jurisdictions, other attorneys, working with those local attorneys, removing Busby from it, I think it just has a bad taste to it now, because even though, like, people will look at this as like a technicality, right? Like, and technicalities can be very small, but in a court of law, if there's rules and you don't go by them, it's just not a good thing. You're an attorney. We're supposed to be able to trust that you're going to do by the book everything, because you're talking about throwing accusations on a person that are very serious. So it's just, they can't. I believe that they can.
Because if I'm hiring an attorney, I would think that the attorney knows what he's doing. I'm hiring you for your expertise, and if you don't and you're messing up, I can go to another attorney that maybe has a better expertise or a better knowledge of definitely the jurisdiction.
I don't know what is for in regard to legal, but boy, they've created some good stories though.
Yes,
I mean, these have been better than Zane's Sex Chronicles, haven't they?
They have not been good stories. They have the same damn stories.
No, they've created some good stories out of this.
Not
There's been some good stories.
Well, homeboy said he was in the shower.
Come on,
and
now.
these are all alleged.
Like,
come on now.
It's a lot. Come on. No. And then they all got the same story, same ending. Oh my God.
You like my jewelry? Come on now, remember that one?
I like it. No, he didn't say that. No, they said he complimented it first. I like your necklace. He said, "Oh, I got something else for you." Like come on.
You ever gave fellatio?
I am gonna reach out.
Well, you should try. Like, come on, this is crazy.
But all this does is, like you said, it smears what Puff is doing regardless. So if Puff's attorney has an opportunity to sue Busby, I think they should do the same thing Hov is doing and sue.
We'll see what happens. We're going to see how it plays out. I will reach out to Attorney Busby, as I always do on both sides, and just see what his response to this is. But I knew that this was going to happen. Like I said months ago, with Jay-Z doing what he did with that case, even though he's not fighting for Diddy, he's fighting for himself. It was going to open up a whole new can of worms on the Diddy side.
But also let the record show, because the internet is stupid. This is the civil case you're talking about.
Yes,
This ain't got
civil.
nothing to do with Diddy criminal case.
Attorney Busby's case is civil, but they did start filing stuff on the criminal side too. I think they're going to try and use it on both sides. So again, we'll keep you guys updated. I'm going to reach out to Attorney Busby. We'll see what he says, if he says anything, because he's given me no comment a couple times on these things. So.
Well, thank you, Lauren.
You're welcome, Jess.
Next hour, you got what? Dirt?
Yeah, Dirt got some
a lot of
legal
little
things
updates
happening as well.
So
too.
more litigiousness with Lauren.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, when we come back, we got front page news, and then Akim Barak and Lamont Roach Jr. will be joining us. He's fighting Tank this weekend at the Barclays, and we'll talk to them in a little bit.
Gervonta Davis.
Yes, Gervonta Davis.
Okay, have you thinking he fighting an R&B singer?
A lot of
know
people
that's
be
Tank.
thinking that.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that. I'm like, yo, how long Tank been boxing for y'all to not know that it's not? Please don't. What's the name? Please don't go Tank. It ain't R&B money Tank.
Did you hear that, Virgil? I hit that.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. Stop it. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.